Monster Energy for TCB 40. We are ready for our next fight. This bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds in the TCB 155-pound division. Starting out, fighting out of the right corner, standing 6 foot tall and weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of Little Giant Muay Thai, it's Patrick Parker. And his opponent, fighting out of the blue corner, standing 5'8" and weighing in at 155 pounds, fighting out of George Gurgel MMA, it's Nick Lane. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this bout is scheduled for 3 2-minute rounds, and your referee is Mike Weber.
Hello, friends. Welcome back to TCB 40 as we enter into Patrick Parker versus Nick Lane. Both of these fighters have already made their TCB debut. Patrick Parker and Nick Lane
Ladies
are both
and gentlemen, this is
1-1.
an exhibition bout. This is an exhibition bout.
And as Chris Fuller says here, it is in fact going to be an exhibition bout, so this is not going to impact that record. But what it will do is demonstrate the skills and philosophy of both of these fighters, as well as the gyms that they hail from. Little Giant Muay Thai is what's backing Patrick Parker here, as Nick Lane is going to be showing George Gurgel MMA. Patrick Parker quickly dropping Nick Lane here. But immediately, that fighter will get back to his feet here for the blue corner, as this is a real exchanging of high kicks. Finally, Patrick Parker almost gets a pin there against Nick Lane, who tries to awkwardly weave one in up against the head of Patrick Parker. Doesn't quite get it. Ooh, nice little snap kick there. Nick Lane certainly keeping his wits about him, as he's going to now get into a clinch scenario, driving Patrick Parker up against the wall. And he actually had a pretty open striking position there, but the referee will quickly break that one up after no more scoring opportunities were shown. Both of these fighters exchanging blows. Love how high Nick Lane is trying to land these shots. We've already seen how devastating head kicks can be. And something like that two-piece, the roundhouse kick into the back heel combo could just send Patrick Parker out of this round. But right now, good movement from the representative of Little Giant Muay Thai is keeping him tight and in there, landing solid strikes of his own. As Nick Lane, once again, is going to try to clinch up here. Quickly broken by the referee. No scoring opportunities right there. So, referee going to quickly tell everybody not to continue on with those clinches unless there is, in fact, an opportunity to strike. Nick Lane, yet again, showing that flexibility, showing that strategy. Patrick Parker with a vicious shot of his own. And look at the reaction, grabbing that low attempt at hitting the thigh by Nick Lane. He tripped himself up into the ropes as well. Patrick Parker happy to walk out of that scenario up against the ropes in good shape here, as he's going to try to wrench back that arm of Nick Lane to find a new opening for himself in these striking exchanges. Nick Lane trading flow now. Once again, Patrick Parker raising that leading foot, trying to find a new angle, as now we do hear the clappers. 10 seconds left on this round. See who's going to be able to make a statement, as one more exchange will come through. Neither fighter able to get a huge advantage out of that one, but I do love what I'm seeing out of both of these guys here in this exhibition bout. Patrick Parker doing a good job remaining strong in the face of terrifying attempts at shots to the head by the representative of George Gurgel MMA, Nick Lane. Now, Patrick Parker has been getting several of his own in, but most of the time he's using his kicks not as his finishing maneuver, but rather as a way to open up Nick Lane so that he could dominate with that very impressive reach advantage that he has, standing at 6 foot versus the 5'8" of Nick Lane. And those punches certainly can land quite hard if given the opportunity. Right now, Nick Lane, when he does find himself opened up though, has been going to these clinches that have neutralized a lot of the right corner's game plan. And so, seeing how this continues from here on out, I think is going to be very, very important to building out the contours of what the judges will decide is the winner, unless one of those big finishing moves from either side does in fact land, as we now enter on into that second round here. The referee going to call everybody out of the ring except for our 2 contestants. Immediately, we do see Patrick Parker incorporating a clinch of his own, seeing how open Nick Lane was after that kick attempt here. No glove touch at the start of this round, but both of these fighters just dead set focused upon making a statement here. Once again, Nick Lane maybe getting too twisted up in his own kicks. Patrick Parker finding some solid scoring opportunities there. Once again, we see that kind of spacing front kick come out from the red corner. as Nick Lane trades right back. A lot of these shots, though, not landing quite as high as before. Now they're just kind of splashing to the chest area of Patrick Parker. Still solid, going to do some damage, but Parker seems completely unperturbed by Nick Lane's approach right now. Once again, trying to wrench back Nick Lane. We see how far back Nick Lane's head flies also when he is caught unawares or in the middle of one of his big moves. And so Patrick Parker here, I think, may have some firm control. Almost gets his back turned, though. That could have been a disaster, but he quickly rights himself. Nick Lane trying to control space. Big heel kick once again. Going to be dodged by Patrick Parker, playing far enough back to now find himself with an opportunity at an advancing guard. Nick Lane going to go for that clinch once again, looking to negotiate space, trying to find a knee on the way back out of it as these two will organically break it up. And now we're seeing Patrick Parker using that leading arm as a spacing tool versus Nick Lane. As I said before, the height advantage is definitely all in favor of this representative Little Giant Muay Thai, and that could be a deciding factor as he's beginning to leverage that more and more to stay outside of Nick Lane's ability to give out punches. And I think Nick Lane is learning that he just can't go for these crazy kicks that he's been doing throughout the course of these first 2 rounds. It's just too tiring, and he's often finding himself in awkward scenarios. Right now, he finds himself in a separate awkward scenario, clinched into the neutral corner. Referee will break that up before much can happen, though, as now we return back to a neutral stance. Both of these fighters trading blows, but Patrick Parker seems to be getting the better of the scenario, landing a high kick right as the round ends. Nick Lane, though, keeping his guard up for the majority of that exchange. I don't think he's going to walk away too phased, and so that means we're going down to decisive round number 3. One thing that's very impressive about this exhibition bout and the fighters in it is the fact that both of them are demonstrating great levels of endurance. Obviously, any amount of fighting, any amount of combat sports is going to be tiring, but I think that both of these fighters are doing a good job of tempering their aggression, making sure they can last for all 3 of these 2-minute rounds. And furthermore, I think they have a lot more to give as we move into this final set of exchanges. See ice pack to the chest of Patrick Parker here, just cooling him down, preparing him for what comes next. As on the other side, George Gurgel MMA is giving a talking to Nick Lane, making sure that he can adapt to all coming situations here. Now our referee is going to call upon both of our fighters, show their mouth guards, and now show out in this 3rd and final round of this fight. Immediately, Nick Lane right back on that high kick game plan. A little bit more control, too, as well. He's keeping that guard up while shooting for those kicks. But now Patrick Parker is able to match fire with fire, oftentimes using his kicks almost as guards in his own right. Great leg conditioning there out of the representative Little Giant. And now, once again, Patrick Parker using that range advantage, trying to find a way to the head of Nick Lane, who will be able to fall back. Yet again, spacing with the kick. Back kick, though, staggered with a low shot as an answer by Patrick Parker. And that's that danger I was talking about. These heavily committal moves may not benefit Nick Lane, as now he's going to be stumbled, brought like a bull to the ropes. Scary situation for sure. Quickly, that is going to be broken up here as once again, Patrick Parker looks for an opening. Holding up that knee, trying to find space. Front kick once again. Nice slip there by Nick Lane, turning his torso, landing a leading arm shot as well by doing so. Now we're back into an open stance. Nick Lane attempting to approach here, trying to find a little bit of a clinch. Patrick Parker able to walk back, rotate around now, getting a good knee to the chest as Nick Lane is trying to just get him off with a few kicks of his own. Big swing haymaker almost to the temple, but once again, Patrick Parker keeping that high guard this whole time has done a good job of mitigating damage, but now a little bit of a leg wrench there. Nick Lane able to capture a attempted roundhouse kick from Patrick Parker to good effect. Immediately reset back to neutral, though. Patrick Parker spacing out with that front arm, looking for something. Nick Lane ducks under, but is going to get caught for the second time by that trailing arm. Patrick Parker looking for another one, but Nick Lane keeping those shoulders low, keeping those hands up, doing a good job. Now he's the one buying space. Great side kick there. Now looking for a new opportunity as time ticks down in this last round. Only about 10 seconds left. We're about to hear the clappers, and now it's time to go all out. Nick Lane in a little bit of trouble. Referee going to break this up immediately, send them back to neutral. Trading of blows. Off the ass kicks not going to land, and it doesn't look like 10 seconds are going to be the deciding factor one way or the other. We're going to have to go to the judges' scorecards, ladies and gentlemen, as both of these fighters have made a fantastic showing here in this exhibition bout. One thing to note is that both of these fighters are already operating at such a high level without too many fights in their record. One smoker on the side of Patrick Parker and a 1-1 record, all standing for both him and George Gurgel, MMA's representative, Nick Lane. But what that means is that while this is just an exhibition, they certainly are going to strut their stuff in some real broadcasted fights going forward. And so make sure that you guys continue to come back. We have membership options for those of you watching at home through the WildStyle streaming network. So make sure that you guys grab a membership so you can return for TCB after TCB into the future. Gloves are off here for Patrick Parker, as I believe all the decisions are still being gathered by our referee, calling everybody to the center of the ring for that final decision to be made.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, this was an exhibition bout, so we do not announce a winner, but let's hear it for both these fighters, putting on a great show. Good job, guys.
Congratulations once again to both fighters for a great show.